Hello and welcome to another Delta analysis video. Today is Delta Weezing, which is a electric and flying type, which is a good defensive typing. Its only weaknesses are ice and rock, I think, which is a very good defensive typing. Zapdos has it. You all know how annoying Zapdos can be. So this thing is pretty much Zapdos, but worse stats. But it also has some unique things, obviously. Um, its stats are pretty decent. Defensively, it's it's very physically defensive. 120 Fizz Def with 65 HP. HP is a bit low, but 120 Fizz Def, 70 Speed Def, that's not bad. And its attacking stats are both okay and low speed, but it is what it is. Going into the abilities, it gets Cloud 9, which ignores weather effects while this thing is on the field. So things like so it like I think this is actually like a negative thing unless you're facing like sun or hail. I don't think you want to have Cloud 9 because I think the other ones are like objectively better, because this thing can actually function in rain pretty well with like dual stab. So yeah, I don't think Cloud9 is an ability you want to run, but it could be occasionally useful. Amplifier, that's a specs on sound moves. That's exactly what it does. It does get nerfed in the updates, which makes it I think a 25% boost or 30% boost, something like that. It's like more similar to Punk Rock, Toxtricity's ability, but for now it's specs, and that's good. That's real good. So yeah, it has specs on sound moves, and Volt Absorb is lightning. This is not a TCG. It's an electric immunity that heals you by 30%. So that abilities amplifier is by far the best one. It's insane. But okay, notable moves. It gets set up with Calm Mind and Belly Drum as Tailwind, I guess, is like set up. But Calm Mind especially, Belly Drum physically, Tailwind for speed. Although you're still not that fast, but you can outspeed a vast majority of Pokemon with a Tailwind up. It gets Haze and Roar to phase out and deal with setup threats. Screens are screens, gets Roost for recovery and Volt Switch for momentum. This thing functions mainly like this thing is okay. I don't know what I'm gonna say. First set. The first set is defensive set, although it still hits pretty hard. With Volt, I put Roost, Volt Switch, Boom Burst, and Energy Ball, Haze, Hurricane, Screens, Roar, Toxic Tailwind. You can play around with the moveset. Roost for recovery, Boom Burst hits so hard. It hits so hard. Volt Switch for momentum, and then like Energy Ball hits ground types. Haze deals with setup. Roar also deals with setup. Hurricane deals with grass types. Screens is screens. Toxic is just a good move in general, and Tailwind it can support the team. Instead of Volt Switch, you could run a move that I gave to this Pokemon myself because I thought that would be fun. Turns out it might be a little bit broken. I gave this thing Overdrive, which is a sound-based move, electric type sound-based move. It gets boosted by Amplifier. Oh, its ability is Cloud 9, it should definitely be Amplifier. That's the ability you'll be running most of the time. Unless you're not running any sound moves, in which case Volt Absorb is probably the better ability. But yeah, it gets Overdrive, and that hits also like a truck. So, speaking of Overdrive, the Calm Mind set, which is probably the best set in my opinion, because of its huge Fizz Def and the ability to boost the Speed Def, you could just become unkillable and hit so hard with Overdrive and Boom Burst. Then you can run Energy Ball, Hurricane, Snarl, Roost, Heat Wave. Snarl is actually pretty nice for the ghost types that are immune to Boom Burst. So you could run like Calm Mind, Snarl, Boom Burst, Roost, or something stupid like that. it does have a bit of a move slot syndrome because it does want both overdrive, boom burst, coverage move. Well, it doesn't necessarily need coverage move, but it does like coverage move, and it wants roost because it's a slow setup mon. But I think you can usually fit on roost pretty easily with overdrive and boom burst because that does hit everything barring like Golurk and Runerigas, so that should be fine usually. So yeah, this thing is just really scary offensively, and that's pretty much all Delta Weezing is like. That's pretty much what Delta Weezing is best at, being a defensive annoyance or being a coal mine threat. There's also a third option that is not as serious as the other two, but it's the most fun though. It's the most fun. It's the Belly Drum set. This is the Belly Drum Citrus Berry set. This I did EV it, so it does proc the Citrus Berry after the Belly Drum, but you can put more HP in that as long as it's even. It works. Belly Drum, Acrobatics. Acrobatics after the Citrus Berry pops at max attack. That does a lot of damage. It just does a lot of damage. Wild Charge for other stab, but you can also run like Roost, Facade, Explosion, Gunk Shot, Rock Slide. It doesn't get too many physical moves, but the ones it does get do cover a lot of the types. Although you do struggle with electric types a little bit, but you could run like you run Volt Absorb in this set. You don't care about electric types. Easy, problem solved. You don't care about electric types. So yeah, this thing it's a set, and you could run like Tailwind on this thing too, because it is kind of fat, so it can set up on things kind of easily. But you can't really fit Tailwind and Roost unless you run Belly Drum, Tailwind, Roost, and Acrobatics, and it's just mono Acrobatics breaking Steel types and Rock types. I don't see that happening, but it's an option. I don't think it's a good option, but it's definitely an option. So yeah, that's Delta Weezing. Its stats may look kinda okay at best, but its abilities and especially overdrive. I shouldn't have given this thing overdrive, but it makes it a lot more fun. So I don't regret giving this thing overdrive. Like in Little Cup, I gave Delta Coughing overdrive 2. That thing's shredded. That thing is a fucking beast. So yeah. Delta Weezing, Coal Mine threat, defensively pretty nice to just sponge things. And its typing is just really, really nice, defensively and offensively. And yeah, that's Delta Weezing. Tomorrow is Lipar, which is the weirdest Delta period. It's not even that close. That thing can fly. I don't know why. But yeah. See y'all then. Bye.